Good afternoon and welcome to yet another episode of Ask Mr. Long Island. My name is Michael Watt, aka Mr. Long Island. Our guest today is Andrea Feinberg. Andrea is a business consultant, a life consultant, and to me one of the most fascinating people in the world because you help people manage something which I heard on the radio this morning is now considered the most valuable commodity of all, and that's time. Because there's only so much time. Everybody gets 24 hours in a day, no matter how wealthy you are or how poor you are. We all have that same amount of time. Can't make more of it, can't make less of it. So you work with business owners, people, and how to manage their time and really make the most of their lives. Talk to me a little bit about business ownership and quality of life.
Okay, thanks, Michael. I have been a business owner here on Long Island for 28 years.
Okay.
And I think that business ownership in the United States of America can be a path to a great life or can take you straight to hell. And I think the ability to go in either direction is how clearly you understand why you're a business owner and what the business has to produce in order to contribute to your quality of life rather than compromise your quality of life. And you made a tremendous point in that understanding how to move effectively through the flow of time is one of the key determinants as to whether or not your business is going to be built productively and profitably and without necessarily needing you 24 hours a day, and as a result allow you to enjoy a better quality of life, or if you're going to hold yourself hostage to everyone else's needs, or some of the kind of work that really doesn't require your, as the business owner's, attention, is really going to have a tremendous impact on whether or not you're old and gray and have your cardiologist on speed dial before it's time, or whether you're allowed to be a boss on the beach, which is my personal favorite phrase right now.
You know what? I like that.
Yeah, and Boss on the Beach is the new website that I'm building right now. BossOnTheBeach.com is coming.
That is very cool because
Yeah.
you instantly know what you're referring to.
You know exactly what I'm talking about. That's
Wow.
it, yeah.
And it doesn't necessarily, let's talk about entrepreneurialism a little bit.
Okay.
Entrepreneurial doesn't necessarily mean you own the business or you started the business. It really means you're going to do the best you can while you're there to make that business work. And if you embrace that entrepreneurial spirit, that's a good way to make a nice living. But the really important point, and I just would ask you to elaborate a little bit more, is you don't want to work for the sake of working. You want to work to enhance your quality of life and succeed so that you can be the boss on the beach. How can you work with somebody to ensure that they not only are successful career-wise, but they're really making the most of their life?
An excellent question. I think that a lot of us remember a wheel of life, which is just looks like a pizza pie with a lot of segments, slices, and each of those slices represents a component that we think contributes to a good life. So we might think of our friends or family, our spiritual beliefs, how well we manage money, our health, our hobbies, and our business or career. Business and career is one of the segments, and too often, especially if you're a business owner and you've invested time, money, expectations, maybe your kid's college fund into that business, it tends to subjugate all those other segments and it becomes this bulging, stressful wedge. And when that happens, the rest of your life really suffers because there is no time available. If instead you're able to recognize that you have gone into business to create a better quality of life for you, then you realize that the way to achieve that and to enjoy more free time, flexibility, and to enjoy all those other hobbies and pursuits I mentioned is to have the kind of business that is world-class. And I define world-class as having a business that delivers quality products and services, hires capable employees and trains and delegates to them so they can become capable contributing members of your team, working with vendors or strategic partners with mutual respect. And when you do all that and you have documented procedures that are consistently applied so that people know what to expect from you every time, you begin to have a business that doesn't require your ongoing presence. and can operate well without you, while you can dangle your toes in the ocean or go to the movies if you want.
So you own the business or the mission or the business doesn't own you.
Yeah, that's a good way.
Is there a website that people can go to kind of get a little more information or find out more about you and how they might work with you?
Yes, right now the current website is morefreetimezone.com. I like to live in the more free time zone. I have not traditionally, however, been a big believer for myself of a corporate website. I use a lot of what I call squeeze pages.
Okay.
A squeeze page is what some people are comfortable calling a landing page, but it has no tabs.
Okay.
You either opt in or you get lost. So I have a lot of squeeze pages that I use to offer product or services or to invite people to events, workshops, and webinars. And in that way, I find an audience that I know is specifically interested in a very specific topic, product, or service,
Okay.
and allows me to subsequently market to them more effectively. So I've been a big user of squeeze pages, but morefreetimezone.com has
Okay.
been my company site.
Terrific. And we're going to take a quick break and we'll come back. We're going to talk about one of your other projects that have coming up and we'd love to learn more about it.
Thank you.
You're watching Ask Mr. Long Island. My name is Michael Watt, aka Mr. Long Island. My guest today is Andrea Feinberg, and we'll be back in a couple of minutes.
Hi, I'm Tim Stead. I'm from Star Communications. We're a marketing support company. And if you need help with your next marketing project, please call 273-1900 or you can go to our website, starcommunications.us.
And we're back with Ask Mr. Long Island. My name is Michael Watt, aka Mr. Long Island. The guest today is Andrea Feinberg. Andrea was talking before about working with business owners. Now we're going to discuss another project that you're very involved with, the Women's Prosperity Network.
That's right.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
This is a 7-year-old organization devoted to women's business and professional and personal development. Started by 3 actual sisters in Florida, and about 2.5 years ago, I launched a chapter here on Long Island, and it's been really successful. The signature activity we go through is a literal mastermind workshop, and you may be familiar with the term masterminding. Napoleon Hill developed this concept, which basically says 3 heads are better than 1.
Right.
And so we do that, and through these mastermind conversations that we host on a monthly basis, it creates a very easy opportunity to immediately dive into an interesting topic with what's probably a stranger sitting next to you.
Right.
And that begins relationships, frankly, a lot more authentically and interestingly than, here's my business card, let's meet for coffee next week.
And it also presents an opportunity where a fresh set of eyes can look at something and see the solution even possibly, because you're so caught up in the forest you can't see the trees. Somebody who's maybe not as emotionally involved in the challenge can look at that and say, well, did you consider this?
Absolutely. I think the more points of view we expose ourselves to, the more potential opportunities or outcomes we can enjoy. So masterminding is a great technique for that, because you like to expose yourself to people who don't think the same way you do.
But it's also important to note, I think, that the people in the mastermind group are peers, because only a business owner can relate to the challenges faced by another business owner.
Yes, I would agree, although sometimes it's great to work with people who you feel are perhaps a little bit ahead of where you are, in business.
Understood,
so you
but
can strive to their level, or perhaps they're a little bit more demanding so that you catch up to where they feel they are. So I've always belonged to my own mastermind group,
right,
with people who don't live locally. I've been involved with a mastermind group for, I think, 3 years. It's been very useful for me for ideas, to validate some of my thoughts, to help me find resources, or even to support me when things don't go exactly as expected.
Well, it's like that saying, you never want to be the smartest person in the room. You kind of want to challenge yourself to raise it to another level. But the peer thing, I think it's important, because only business owners really can relate to what other business owners go through.
I think so, and it's also true that business owners often don't have a confidant to whom they can speak who doesn't have a subjective point of view, or isn't interested in some way in the outcome. you certainly can't talk to your employees, you don't want to talk
Right.
to the bank, you may
Right.
not want to talk to your spouse.
Right.
So talking to another business owner who has probably experienced what you are experiencing and can support you and assist, that's a great resource to have.
And it's the Women's Prosperity Network, is there a website people can
There
go to?
is, very easy, womensprosperitynetwork.com/Long Island.
Terrific, and you go there, get more information about the group, get more information about you and the
Yes.
services you bring to the table. Andrea, you're one of the most fascinating people on
Well,
Long
thank
Island. I
you.
really appreciate your time and being here. You've been watching Ask Mr. Long Island. My name is Michael Watt, AKA Mr. Long Island. Our guest today was Andrea Feinberg. Andrea, thank you,
Thank
and we look
you.
forward to seeing you next time.
Thank you.
I mean that, by the way. I've been following you.